Okay, my good friend Carl Smith, who follows my work and is a contributor, sent me this and said, I want you to take a look at this and see what you think. It's only 38 seconds long. It's the Lady of Elche.
Please pause this video and take a real good look at the many images of this artifact. The Lady of Elche was found in Spain and was dated to be around 2,500 years old, a time that predates the Roman Empire. And her head shape predates the Egyptians. And also, bringing you another exclusive. This statue may be so old that it's actually a real humanoid body. That's what I said. A real petrified human body. Iberian girl. You know that you came and you changed our world.
Alright, Iberian girl. Carl, thank you, buddy. Alright, here's the deal. This was the original when it was found. Now, they're showing somebody that had a deformed nose. Well, that's not what happened here, I don't believe. And a deformed lip earlier in the video. This is the product of laying on the face and this being pushed over this way. And that piece of nose is missing. Now, I'm going to show you a head that I had a lot of, we'll talk about it in a minute, with a very similar situation on the nose. Now, this can easily be checked, and I did check it, and I'm going to tell you right now, I have every reason to believe that that is real. Okay, you saw the nose on the other one, it was broken off. Well, that one was already completely solidified and the nose snapped off, but you could see the you could see the little airways and everything. Now this is a different condition, this situation. This guy was killed and his head pushed into the ground, I believe, and that's the flesh of his nose. You see it? And that's the cartilage inside, and that's the flesh moved apart. That's his eyeballs. You see that? That's the eyeball, and that's the I forget what they call it, but you can actually look and see all the variegation of it. If you take your time, stand back, and then look at it, and look at it really close. Now, this is the blood. And I've been doing this for 10 years. And I know the chemistry now, inside and out, the ferrous oxides, that's the O2 and that's the O3 blood, the ferrous O2 and O3, which is, your vein and your artery blood. Now, this is what they would call feldspar. And it's a little bit of a fabricy, and I show it a ton of zillion times. And it's not feldspar, it is what is actually the skin and organ covering. Well, this is what it's like right here. This is a dense. All right, and the reason it's dense, it's a lung. It's what's called pleural. All right, but it's everything is like that. This feldspar. It's like this only in varying degrees, like this. That's feldspar right there. But inside, they're not feldspar. Here, hold on. Inside, they are, I don't know, they call them basalt, igneous, metamorphic, whatever they want to call them, they call them. But outside is the fabric of life, which is feldspar, because these are living creatures. Rocks were living creatures. Feldspar on the outside, bone on the inside, baby. Although it's not really bone, because it doesn't fossilize into bone. These are mud fossils, done in different conditions in the mud. I'll leave it at that. I have it extremely well detailed, but I've gone over it so many times, I'm not going to do it again right now. So, what do we have here? A guy's head that was smashed in. Alright. And that's the blood, and it's bone black, and this is actually the cap in his head, and the weft and the weave, or whatever they call it, weft and the warp of a knit cap. This was dismissed on TV by Scott Walter saying, "Oh no, that's just a sandstone head," and that's all he said about it. Never looked at anything, and I would want to re-engage. Now I'm giving him every opportunity to re-engage because we can test this right now, absolutely no question whatsoever. Because I was the first one to get DNA tested. They said, "Oh, you can't test that." I said, "Of course you can." I watch this. Okay, and here's the reason why I can make the statement. I think it very well could be real. Now, this is at a private estate in La Alsuja, Spain, and it has been fixed up. Remember, the lip was messed up, the nose was broken. Now, they say it's either a funerary hold or a depiction of a goddess or an Iberian princess. The Lady of Elche's origin can never be known for sure, nevertheless widely believed to be one of the most striking examples of sculpture, well, I'm not sure it is sculpture, found on the planet. Now, the artifact, a polychrome bust, well, I don't know where they come up with that depicts the head of a woman, was unearthed by chance 1897, supposedly stumbled upon by a young farm worker who was clearing an area for planting on the estate. In Elche, part of the Spanish province of El Sente in the country's southeast. Now, this is what the guy found. And then I see, oh, it's got a hole in the back. That case is closed. This can't be real. Well, then I say, well, let me think about this. Let me just look at that. And I will show you what I found. Okay, my friends, this is really important to have some books like this, to have extreme details. I mean extreme details of every organ and every muscle and every structure in your body. I mean the complete, total details. All right, now, what are we looking at right here? I'm looking at a weave of a muscle. You see that, how it weaves together there like that? Well, let's look at something else. That's the chest. Now, this is that funerary urn, the Lady of Elche. Now, this right here is very similar to that fabric that I showed you in the chest. Now, down about in here, it changes, which I would have assumed that's about right. Now, I understand these dark holes here and here and here and here and here. All of the tip, you see those little holes on all of the tips, basically. And why is this dark over here versus light here? The heart is in the left side of the chest. And the heart is a very dark blood situation. Now, I can't say this for sure, but I can tell you something right now. There is some form of a structure here. Now, this could be from the fabric of her, whatever she was wearing. But this inside, I looked at this, and I have almost exactly the same muscle fibers here. I suppose I should show them to you. Hold on. Well, this is a chunk of muscle that's in my shop here. And, you could see very similar. Let's put it that way. All right, I said this is extremely important that you have the kind of visual that you can see. And I'm going to show you, I can tell you, I'm almost certain now that funerary urn was alive. Now, why do I say that? Because of the two different types of muscle we have right here. All right, I don't know if you'll be able to see this well or not, but I showed you this here. All right, this is the anterior serratus. All right, and then you have the rectus abdominis, which goes this way. So we had the weavy muscles going this way, and then right up about here below the chest chest muscles, you have the straight up and down muscles. Now let's go see that funerary urn again. Okay, so here's her back. Now, remember we had the weavy muscles, and then look at this. If you can see what we have here. Right about at where the chest ends coming down, we have these things. Now, these are totally different than this. Take a second to look at them. You see it? Now you see those dots? Those are like muscle bundle centers. They're the cores, the same as we had at the top here in the darker muscle, and that is blood infused muscle, and that's why it's showing up the way it is. And I believe the heart was over here, and I believe this pretty much to me. I'm going to have to go with the fact that it displays every indication that it was actually a creature at some time. Now, why they did this inside, I have no idea. And if it is a creature, I still have no idea. I have to be honest with you. However, I see everything, and now, here's the key now. I see everything, first of all, that indicates to me it was. Secondly, now we can test these things. When I first started this research, there was everybody just, oh, you can't test, you can't get DNA out of this. I said, yes, you can, absolutely you can. I had things leaking blood on the counter. How could they possibly say you can't get DNA out of them? So I decided I'd go deeper than that, and I had 3 samples done, and all of them came back positive for Homo sapien DNA. You know, they did the PCR test. They didn't do, you can't transplant it, you can't clone it or whatever, that kind of stuff, I'm sure. Because all I had done was enough to tell me that it was mitochondrial human DNA. There was 2 sections in the mitochondria that prove that is our genes in these creatures. Same as they are, same as we are, the mother's side. Now the father's side, I guess, is what changes everything. But I'm telling you right now, I'm seeing muscle, and I'm seeing muscle. This one's going this way, this one's going that way. I'm seeing a darkness, which indicates blood. Okay, this is apparently the original of the Lady of Elche, and this was supposedly from 1929. Now, I don't have my fingers on any solid evidence to support that, but I'm pretty sure that's correct. Now, I see anatomy here, and I see anatomy here, and I see anatomy in all of these wrinkly, bumpy spots. And you say, oh, Roger, how could all these pock marks and everything be the anatomy? That's interstitial, and I'm going to show it to you. And I was the one who discovered it. Yes, I've been saying that over and over and over, and I don't care. I discovered it working with these mud fossils. I understand these things as well as anybody could possibly understand them. And I'm going to show you. And people have been sending me things from all over the world now that they have found, discovered, and people laughed at them and said, oh, you're a silly person. And so they sent it to me. But I have found the evidence to support the things I'm saying. And I want somebody to stand up against me. Nobody carves something like that. And carves the lip off and carves the nose that way. Makes the eyeballs like this. I mean, this is... And this headdress also, at one time, was some kind of a thing that she was wearing. These people posed in death. I can't explain this, but it's all over the place. Well, look at the Colossus, or the Del Gigante, or whatever it is. Well, let me show you that. All right, look at this guy. He's posed. And that was a creature at one time. That is the tendinous material in the leg. That is the bloody, muscly stuff in the leg. All right. Now, and his arm, if you understand anatomy, you could tell this is where the muscle bundles were, like around his arm, the core of his arm there. Again, you have to understand anatomy enough to understand what you're seeing. And an anatomist will understand that. That was a guy's arm. And an anatomist will understand this too. That is the bloody tissue in a guy's kneecap. All right, you want to see what tendon looks like on a guy's leg? Let's go check it out and see if it has any similarity whatsoever. I don't know, I see a little bit of anatomy similarity there. It's exactly the same because he was alive. I'm sorry, that's the way it is. And now, and it's in every, I mean, I have dozens of examples. And we have new creatures too that don't have exactly this. They don't have this in their legs. They don't have that in their feet. Let me show you what they have in their legs. All right, you see this? This is from a Brian Forrester video, and he had it down a very strange weathering. Well, it's not strange because this was a huge statue in Egypt and had all the hieroglyphs all over it and so forth. Now, inside that's the ribs, that is the lung. I believe that's the liver. I believe, but you can see the difference in the coloration. If this, I believe, whatever. We saw that the chest cavity had a dark spot. That was the heart. They were like this all over the place, and nobody can really speak about it. Brian Forrester can't really speak too much about things. I know he can't because he had a test done on an elongated head, and I contacted him about it, and we went back and forth just a smidge. And I said, what did you find? You know, fabulous work, and how are you making out? Who's looking at it? Not a single person, nobody. I said, did anybody contact you at all? Nope. Anybody come to look at it? Nope. And I have the same thing here. And they don't want to see this for some reason. But it's here. So it's time to see it whether you want to or not. I believe that's a mummy inside a statue. Okay, I know that's a mummy inside of a statue, and there's the lung and the ribs and the whole 9 yards. And when he was approaching it, it has the long head and all that, and it has all the hieroglyphs around it. Very, very large statue. Crazy as it seems, this was not uncommon. They did this somewhat regularly. Like I said, here's one here. I did a video on this the other day. This was not uncommon. I can't account for it. It is what it is.